New podcast, who want to smoke? Coming raw and uncut like who want this dope? Whatever you want, they for sure to cover the topic. From racial issues to fashion flies to cockpit. Y'all ain't never get it like this, cause they ain't never did it like this. We on our this the way the cookie crumbles for y'all. She gon' bring the inspiration to all. You know what's up with her. And this shit manifesting is a vision. And y'all gon' love TJ cause he the realest. From the heart of them all, they the start of it all. You looking for a high, learning holla at your rod. The professor, another lesson coming at you with the lessons. Get your edge if you knowin' what's good for you. They educated, but they still keep it hood for you. Won't need another, this one here really do it for you. Baby,
Yo,
hey,
yo, what's up, y'all?
It's
what's
been a
up,
minute.
Emily?
It's been a minute.
Girl, it's been a minute. I mean, you know, when somebody missing and one missing, we can't go on. We just be like, where the other person at? You know, that's what we gotta just kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
However, you know, we heard that y'all was looking for us, and we just want to say at 1, 2, 3, here we go.
Here I go.
Here we go.
No, he too good. He too good to say it. He too good.
Yeah, I think it's because he got that nice shirt on, fitting on his muscles, you know, getting slim and trim down, baby.
I see you outside.
Yeah, I'm telling you. But anyway, we know y'all been looking for us. We've missed you all. We are back, you know, in rhythm. You know, we got to stay up in the vein of this thing. So we want to welcome you to the Floor is Yours podcast. Here you have everybody that you know, everybody that you love on this screen right here. Me, I see Ivory, the conscious creator, and Flex, the Rex, the producer, that extraness in there. And so we just want to welcome you all to the Floor is Yours podcast. And you know what we want you to do? We want you to like, share, and subscribe on all social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, MySpace, Under the Table, With the Grapes. I mean, you know, wherever you can get us in, you know, AOL. I don't know if that's still even working. But anyway, thank you for joining us on tonight. But like, share, and subscribe on all social media platforms. And hey, we're just going to keep moving with this thing. The train is now moving. Denisha, hey.
The train is moving. So today's topic is starting a relationship from loneliness and desperation. Desperation. So why is this important? Why is this important that we are not starting relationships from loneliness and desperation? Like, why do you think that's important? When you get into relationships, when you are lonely, not alone, but lonely, because there's a difference. You just start accepting anything. You start accepting anything. You start accepting all the red flags. You don't even know what you want. And you are desperate to get a man. So you need to be careful when you get into these relationships, when you are desperate and you are lonely. So we're going to talk about that today.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. So you hit a lot of the points that we are going to talk about. And but you said women for men, it's the other way around too. Okay. Men are desperately in relationships, and you know, I ain't gonna say that. Would have sounded kind of sexist, but I'm leaving it there. So, but the thing is, you're right. When you're doing it out of desperation, it's almost never lasts. So we're gonna talk about that. Well, here's my part right here. I'm sorry, it was kind of off cue right here, but when people are lonely and are desperate, they are led by emotions and often make impulsive decisions. These feelings are usually driven by fear. Now, on one hand, these people quickly jump into relationships and can make their entire existence hinge on being in that relationship. These types of people are often clingy and codependent. They are easily taken advantage of and often blame themselves for the things that go wrong in that relationship. Now, on the other hand, they can be the opposite of that first scenario and never commit. So the first scenario that these people commit quickly. This scenario, they never commit. They are easily spooked when something seems wrong. So they bail on the relationship and quickly find someone else to start over with. What you end up finding out is when they start over, they already had 2 or 3 options already in hand. So remember that a few shows ago, a couple months ago, we talked about these daters, you know, often of the female persuasion, but they start off over after they got somebody waiting. So and they do it
Entertainer.
all again. Yeah, yeah. And there you are. You have this whole wash, rinse, and repeat cycle. So that's what we want to start. Just talk about that in the post we made earlier said that urgency should make you intentional and not desperate. So I want to ask both y'all and in the audience as well, what are some ways that we can be intentional and not desperate when we're trying to start a relationship? And one I want to say is to be whole. And I'll ask, I see, why is it important to be whole when you're going into a relationship?
The importance for me on being whole is that you don't take old residue into new soil, into new relationships, because what you make the other person is responsible, or you're charging them with something that they didn't do.
Yeah.
And then what you do, I feel like there's a comparison that goes with that too as well. If you're not whole, and then the triggers may come up, and if you're not completely past that point, then you'll respond and react to the person that you're trying to date in a manner that is a reflection of who you used to be with.
That's good. That's good. Ivory, before the show, you was actually talking about this a little bit. When if you tell somebody that you're crazy, that they somehow still want to date
Mhm.
you, and what end up happening is they're gonna put that responsibility on you to change. Even though they know who you are, they're gonna be looking for something from you to fulfill them. So you kind of want to add on to that. Why is it important to be whole?
Yeah, I think it's important for you to be whole first before you even go into that relationship. Like that, your partner shouldn't look for you to make them whole. And sometimes, that partner is for you to complete them. And that's a lot of responsibility on a partner. So you
Yeah,
need to first be whole for yourself and don't look for me to complete you. Look for me to
yeah,
add to your completion.
yeah. You know what?
So
Don't
yeah,
we've heard all these sayings though, where they say that she or he completes me. So now you're speaking
mhm.
against that.
I'm definitely speaking against that. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure because if I can complete you, then I can make things worse. So I can take that away. So if I'm not looking for my happiness to come from you. I can make my happy, but I want you to add to me. So that's a
Yeah,
lot. That's a lot of pressure.
yeah. I like that. I like that. Yeah, when people say complete, we had the discussion in the men's group that I'm a part of, um, where they talk about being complete versus compliment.
Mm,
When you try to complete
Mhm.
someone, that means you can also incomplete them.
mm-hmm.
Versus when I compliment, that means
Mhm.
you're already whole. So think about a suit. What does a suit, a nice attire, do to your already complete being? It complements.
I need some
It suits
accessories.
your purpose. So
Yeah,
says,
like when you put the shirt on and the tie and all the little pocket squares, everything just comes together.
yeah, yes.
Yeah,
I want to ask
I
the
need some
audience.
accessories.
Yes, an accessory, right? So I want to ask the audience: do y'all think, or do
Mhm.
y'all agree with that, or do you believe that at some point that is a mate can complete you? So I want to hear the audience thoughts on that right there. But yeah, that while we're waiting on the comments to come through, that whole idea of wholeness, it is for me, it's a new way of thinking. Not recently, but I do remember, subscribing to that whole thing like she completes me. You put a few we talked about this, you put some music behind it and you'll make you a real nice song with it. But to your point, Ivory, that's a lot of pressure to put on somebody. And I think some people unknowingly enter into those situations where they even accept that. Like you're right, I will be your peace. I will complete you. I'll be what you missed and didn't get in the other relationship. And it might start off okay, but I guarantee you over a while, it's going to be a burden that person is probably not going to be able to carry.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So, any
Because
other
I think that I
thoughts?
think that I think that you know, I'm just gonna say I think that if it sounds good, like, oh, I'm his piece, so I'm her piece, I think that the idea sounds good, but once you realize it and think about it, it's a lot of it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Another one is just being accountable for what's happening to you. If you enter into these relationships, and let's be honest, we talked about the whole representative. Sometimes people throw you their representative, and they'll
Mhm.
throw something to you that you think like, okay, this is a stand-up guy or gal, right? And you jump in there. But the accountability piece is, I think, being able to walk away when something is unhealthy for you. So I know it's hard, especially when you throw some traditional things in there, religion, things like that. If you move quick and get married, and I've heard these scenarios where people were moved into a relationship quick and they end up married. Now, again, no one gets married to get divorced. Well, I mean, there are some people out there that are weird like that, but overall, nobody gets married to get divorced. So let me get y'all's your thoughts on that. You jump in something too quick, you get married, and you find out that this person is not who they portrayed themselves to be. Do you stay, or do you stay there and stay there and fight, or do you call it quits?
Well, I think it's a mixture of both. You stay long enough to try to see if things will change. And then when it gets to a point that you see that it won't, then it is time to exit. I mean, that's just my story. So it's best because you begin to lose a lot of yourself, trying to still be with what that person needs from you, but there is no deposit. And so you'll be continuously spinning your wheels and spinning your wheels, and it'll begin to affect you across the board, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Just a lot of things come with that. And I just, if you giving me a fake persona of who you are, and that lets me know that there's a form of deception there too, because people will do what they need to get what they need. They will manipulate relationships in order to get their needs met. And as long as they're getting their needs met, they don't put a high priority on being what they need to be to you, making sure that you're okay. So for me, yeah, I mean, you try, and you, because when I didn't get in it to just to say, oh yeah, I did it. There was some longevity that I expected or wanted to have the result of, because I don't want to talk in third person, that I expected. And so many people do this. We go, whether it's for financial reasons, for somebody to support. But when that person will present that, and once they get you, baby, get that little ring on your finger, they'll flip a script. And so I just want you to know, if you flip a script, I can flip out and get on and exit out. And that was in the past.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna have to worry about that moving forward. How about that?
Ari, what you got?
I think it depends on what what's the reason. Um, you know, I think what's the reason? Sometimes if depending on the reason, you might need to exit early, and
Yeah,
if you might need to just go ahead and just take your ball and leave. It's not
yeah,
working, because if you stay long, then you may the longer the process may be, is not going to work. But
yeah,
if it's workable and you want it to work out, you may have kids involved, you may have assets involved, then you may want to stay and go to counseling and work it
yeah.
out.
Yeah, I'm glad you threw that counseling word in there, because that's a
Hmm.
big part of it. I'll be honest, we're a society that quickly gives up sometimes. Not overall, but a lot of us we do. And you're right. Sometimes you got to quickly assess that thing quickly. Don't just sit there and let what's happening keep happening. Have a plan. I like what Ron said. He says, "I agree with I see. At least try to work things out before throwing up the peace sign." And but to Aubrey's point, depends on what that is. If it's abuse.
Hmm.
Some people. For me, I'm under the idea that we don't go any further. when it starts to be physical, abusive, yeah, you gotta, try to figure that thing out.
Yeah,
So go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead.
because what we're not gonna do is use this pain spray where it numb away the pain real fast and just cover it up like it don't exist. Because we good at doing that too. We just want
Yeah.
to cover it up,
Yeah.
put that old lidocaine on there.
Yeah.
So it just numbs the pain. But when it wears off, everything is still present.
Yeah. So someone want to take this one. We was talking earlier about being able to complete each other. Someone want to take this. And remember, we here we're not experts, and we know a lot of people have different ways of looking at things. But
Mhm.
you know, I know we didn't necessarily agree with it, but I'll let someone take this question or this comment and then address it.
It says couples can complete each other, but you got to know God has sent them.
Oh,
I mean, that's a two-edged sword too, because I feel like God send mine, but at the end of the day, if we don't put in the work, but I don't feel where I am, I don't feel like there's somebody that needs to complete me. God completes me by doing the work to helping me do the internal work. But it is a complementary relationship is what I look at. But like he did say, to each his own on how we view that. And there is no wrong or right answer. It's just what works for you. So I'm definitely in the complimenting area where there is a balance to the imbalance of me. If there's something off and I need to be, you to be stronger in some areas I feel like there's a place where we come in and complement each other and balance out. But definitely not looking for anybody to come in and complete me. I feel like the inner work that I need to do is be a complete version of who I need to be moving forward. And so many times we're incomplete when we're moving into relationships, and then therefore we needing somebody to do all that nurturing that we need when we should have taken the time to do it ourselves. And that's my take on that one.
Yeah.
yeah.
You want to add to that, Ivory? You good?
No, I completely agree with that. I
Yeah.
completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Because if you're saying that if if things doesn't work out, and I'm not saying anything about her husband, anything like that, but if things didn't work out with my husband, he completed me. Now no one else can complete me.
Yeah.
So um so that's why I said that I complete myself, and who I'm with is just adds to it, compliments me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. And again, we all go about it differently. Hey, if it
Mhm.
works for you, hey, God bless you. Just some different ways of looking at it. Denisha said, someone want to take this one from Denisha.
Ivy, you got your glasses on? You want me to keep going? You could just chime
Go ahead,
in.
go ahead, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna help my sister out tonight, girl. I'm gonna be her eyes.
Yeah.
It says, I think couples can complete each other, but there is no, excuse me, complement each other, but there is no such thing as a half person. I am already a whole person. You can inspire me to be better.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah, I like that inspire thing, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what I think relationships are. One of the pillars of relationship is being able to inspire and motivate each other, and that's that accountability piece that we always talk about.
Hmm.
A lot of times we get in a relationship and it's all about the fun that we can have, and what happens when it's not fun, right? And
Hmm.
I think you got to be mature and whole and such that what, when my mate is not on her best at her best, not on her A game, that I could sustain myself. Now, is that for long term? We can have that conversation, about what that looks like. But hopefully that I can hold and sustain myself short term while my mate is growing, and at the same time I can inspire her to and encourage her to bounce back or be better. Right.
Yeah, and then I'm focusing in on the part about like the whole person. I believe there was times in my own life where I was thinking, "Oh, I'm whole," but then there was some things that I didn't face, and I realized it in my like going in and getting in when things would come up. Why was it the need that I needed this from the man that I was with? And a
Mhm.
lot of me, I learned that is when you don't face the father issues, the lack thereof, you will go into needing something from the man that really is supposed to be, or even if it's a man with a mother issue, you go codependently into some things. And sometimes we don't realize that until we get into the relationship and what we're wanting to pull from the mate to be to us.
Yeah.
And sometimes those are eye openers that we don't look at, because all we're looking at, the wholeness, is just from the man, from the partner perspective, and not knowing that the parental part has played a role in the way we proceed forward in the relationships on who we attach ourselves to.
That's
Right.
good.
Right. That's true. And then you don't realize until you get into another relationship.
Right.
You don't know how much that man was pouring into you until you go into the next one,
Yeah.
and you're not as whole as you thought you were.
Yeah.
Because that next man is now pouring into you as much as the last one.
Because sometimes if it's that way, then when we exit the relationship, why does it hurt so much when we go or when we have to walk away if the wholeness in us is complete? Because at this point it shouldn't bother me at all when I have to exit, or we're no longer in a place that we're compatible anymore, that we know that we're gonna go forward. It should be it should be a little bit painless. But in the end, it really ain't, because then we get to question ourselves, why did it go wrong? Or why, there are a lot of things that come up. And I think this is when we begin to tear off the layers of ourselves, to really get naked with ourselves and say, why was it this way? Or why did things, not work out? And it ain't really the blame game, but it really is sometimes just searching ourselves, because we all have some things that we all have a part in whatever goes good and whatever goes wrong. Let's just be honest. And it's just to the point that when you can really sit down in that space and be like, maybe I was looking at it from this angle. Maybe I needed this. Maybe, he needed that. And sometimes it's almost like this unconditional relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I like this comment from Brandon Antoine. He says, the end of one chapter is the beginning of another chapter in my book. And
Hey, Brandon, thanks for joining.
Yeah, whether you, I think you just got to be mindful if you're doing it too soon. In those scenarios I presented earlier, one person is jumping quickly, and another relationship is over. He's jumping, or she's jumping into another one quickly. So I would just say, be sure that you're examining yourself. But the blessing in this is that when one chapter is over, that we know that it's not the end of the world.
Absolutely.
Like, and I was listening to this therapist say, like, hey, don't we all struggle through breakup? Yeah, I think that's natural. You don't like breakup, and it affects you in a negative way. But the difference is that you know that you're recovering, that you're going to be okay. So do the work, make sure, because if not, you're going to be taking whatever it is into the next relationship. And like I said earlier, it's that whole wash, rinse, and repeat cycle all over, right? Anybody want to jump on this one?
No, and it's true. That's just like in a book. I mean, it's probably 12 chapters, and each chapter it one stops and you start another one. And through the progression of the book or the next chapter, there is some growth that occurs, because now you don't talk about the same in the chapter that you just left versus the one that you're moving into. There's a lot of growth that you talk about, a lot of maturity, and all of those different things, and a lot of self-examination. I feel like like you said, we're so used to, that old saying back in the day, the easiest way to get over one is to get up under another one. It sounds good, but all you do is just take all of this brokenness and everything into the next one. You may get excuse my French, you may get your tail wet, get what you need, and go on. But at the end of the day, there's still no fulfillment in it. So all you do is attach yourself emotionally to someone, but there is not a connection. It's just a fulfillment that you get, matter of fact, a temporary fulfillment that you get at that moment. And in the end, you're still left the next day to really sit in your thoughts and to deal with, all of the things that you should. And I do encourage man or woman, take the time out, take a year to yourself, go enjoy some trips, take yourself out to eat, find that place where you just know that you can be in a still place with yourself. The one person that you should be able to be the most connected to is the person that you're with the most, and that's you. And we with ourselves 90% of the time, even whether that's driving in the car. I mean, just begin to look at, life, that if you're not with anybody presently, but your desire is, just take out the time to be what you need to be to you. And moving forward, I promise you, all that'll line up with the person that you get that is sent to come to be in your life. Because you work.
Yeah, Ivory, ain't that contradictory though? If I want a relationship, why do I need to be happy by myself?
You said if you want a relationship, do you need to be happy by yourself?
He said it's contradictory.
Yeah, ain't it? That sounds contradictory to me. If I want a relationship, why do I need to be happy or be able to be happy by myself?
Well, let me go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm talking to you, baby. Let me let you go ahead.
Because I mean, you need to be happy by yourself because you need to know what makes you happy. Because how can you expect him to make you happy or her to make you happy if you don't even know what makes you happy?
Yeah.
And that's where before I struggled with. I didn't know how to make myself happy. I didn't know what made me happy. And so I would I would just allow anything to make me happy. Like, just whatever he did. Oh, I like it.
He
I
bought
like
me
it.
some strawberries. He bought me some
I like
blueberries.
it.
You know I like to work out.
What you want to eat? Whatever you want to eat. I like
Protein
that
shake.
too.
Whatever you like.
whatever you like, Your Highness.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so if you don't know what makes you happy, you don't know anything about yourself, how can you expect to let someone else know what makes you happy?
Yeah.
So that's how I feel.
Yeah. What you
You
think
know,
about this comment, Asi?
I'm yeah. You got it good. Want to push a button, and I have to catch myself. Okay, but anyway, flex, yeah, because it's your responsibility to make you happy. It
Mhm.
is. We try to find all of our fulfillment and happiness in other people, and when they let us down, we totally destroy it.
Yeah.
We mad.
I mean, and I'll get to the
Yeah.
point that me not letting myself down is the ultimate priority in my life. I'm not gonna let me down. I don't want to fail me no more.
Yeah.
I don't want to just be and just roll with it. I want to be like I wanted to know what it is to really know what I like, because when you tend to people all the time and you're always giving so
Mhm.
much and just across the board, you don't even know what you like to do.
Mhm.
And trust me, honey, it ain't always just eating no hot wings, honey. And I want to know how to sit with where my napkin is across my leg. I'm using the right proper fork to eat my food, honey. You know what I'm saying? And just knowing how to gracefully just be in my space of knowing all of those things and be happy about it. And so where I am, I'm telling you, I'm gonna be so good with my man, honey. I'm gonna be that home girl, wife, all that. We're gonna have a good time. But
Mhm.
we gonna be roller skating, all of that.
Yes.
All right. I hope you meet somebody
Bicycle,
that
just
want to
make
do
sure
this.
he give me a good seat to go on there. I got a lot to put on the bike.
Yeah. She said facts. Another person should enhance your happy.
Mhm.
In my humble opinion, we agree with
Very
you.
much so, Miss Monique.
Yeah. As Ivory said earlier, that's just too much power to give somebody else. Whether
Mhm.
it's them completing you or, in my opinion, whether it's them completing you or making you happy. If they can complete you and make you happy, they can also incomplete you and
Mm-hmm.
have the power to make you
Mhm.
unhappy. So
They sure
it's
can.
something to really think about right there. So um, it was a good discussion so far. Y'all go ahead and keep the comments coming.
Thank y'all for
And,
engaging with us tonight.
yeah, that's what make this show the best. So um, I don't know if Ivory saw that private message I sent.
I don't think she did. But you know what? Before we go to any commercials, because my sister don't got her glasses on. We gonna go to a commercial break and we gonna be right back. And Denisha, we gonna get right to yours because it just popped up. We gonna take a commercial break. Y'all stay tuned, okay?
All right.
Your success ain't gonna happen overnight. It may take a year, it may take 2 years, it may even take 10 years. For some people, it might take even longer than that. But one thing I do know, as long as you keep fighting and staying consistent, you will make it. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you gonna make it?
Creed. Step in that water, step in that water, step in that water. Yeah. You gotta be willing to go out and get it. You gotta dive in it, go and get it. Step in that water, step in that water, step in that water. Yeah.
Step in that water, step in that water, step in that water. You gotta be willing to go out and get it. You gotta dive in it. Step in that water. That's my song. I just want y'all to know that. Yes. Okay, let me put my collar back down.
Say, tell us a little bit about that commercial there. Actually.
Well, that's our boy MC. Miracles Closet. And he is our barber across the board.
The
For the
official barber for the Floor is Yours
official barber for the
podcast.
Floor is Yours podcast. I'm gonna see if he can line me up. But yeah, he's our matter of fact, he's our friend from back home in TK. And Miracle just has a clothing line as well. And he's an excellent, he's got a book, he's an author. I believe he has oil and all those things. So he can do a lot of things for you. You can buy clothing, you can get your beard oil, you can get your hair cut, and you can get a good read. So he's a good fella. So we love
Right
you.
here in the Dallas Fort Worth area. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come and see him.
Yeah. So I see. Let's go ahead and let you address this comment from Denisha.
But they always say take the lessons you learn from your past relationship so you know what not to do in the next relationship. But sometimes you, what did she say? I typed so. She said, but sometimes you be so guarded, you keep those lessons at the forefront of your mind. I need to just focus on myself. Is there something? Oh, I need to just focus on myself because the world not ready for this Denisha right now. Know what? I when I read that, I just see healing all in it. And
Mhm.
yeah, take the time for you. Um, because I promise you, it's gonna be a lot of ugliness in that sitting with yourself and just healing and facing it. Feel how you need to feel, girl. Because I did it. I was cussing in complete sentences to myself. I mean, I'm telling you, I was real about it. I wrote about it on my pages way back in September, probably. And I just told God that I wanted to feel every emotion that I needed to, and to realize that even though I probably was even though I was in repeated cycles in there, I know within the last one, he got the best of me. And I think I was more angry because I gave the purest part of me to someone that didn't know how to be we just know we didn't know how to coexist, not even coexist, to be together, to collectively love and be together and to maneuver. And so having to feel all of that, it really is a part of a healing process, and it gets you to the best you, because it is about you. And when you get that way, I promise you, there's an easier flow, um, being with yourself, and everything just becomes to be what it is. Write a little bit more to yourself. All of these things are going to help you as moving forward. And at the end of the day, it's just all about forgiving ourselves when we know that we've done the wrong things or went down the wrong path, or just accepted the things that we didn't. And even the thing we may need to be forgiven. However, release yourself from that. Surrender it all to God. And I promise you, baby, when the new Denisha pop out, and whoever else got to pop out, when you pop out, they're gonna know it's a shift and a change. And I promise you, moving forward in love, if that's what you desire, a healthy relationship, not the right one, a healthy one, it will be just what it's supposed to be. I promise you, them seeds gonna get watered correctly, and the roots gonna take on some good, strong foundation, and it's gonna be good. Now you might have to tend to some weeds every now and then because that's the way you keep relationship healthy. But the first relationship you owe to yourself, man or woman, is with yourself.
Was that the love note?
I mean, it felt like it.
Yeah, you did. That was good. Hey, but I agree with her what she's saying. They always say take the lessons you learn from the past relationship.
Yes.
So we're not doing the next. I think that's depends on what it is, because sometimes you can take it what you learn, and if you don't release it, you carrying that fear even
Yeah.
subconsciously into that relationship. And it'd be like, hey, you're reminding me of what someone used to do to me. And while we don't forget, we're not saying that you should forget how
Mhm.
you've been hurt and go blindly into another relationship. But yeah, I think the difference is you do it from a point of victory. You
Yes.
overcame that hurt from the past, and it's no longer has you captivated in prison. So just got
Mhm.
to be mindful and be intentional and be careful about carrying and remembering and using what hurt you in the past to try to fold and maneuver and manipulate the new.
Because that's exactly what when I get it, when I wanted to be free, I was like, just release me from the soul ties of that relationship.
Yeah.
Release me from the residue of it. I don't want it to be my mental thoughts. Driving, honey, your mind will where you at. Where you thinking I mean, literally, the mind will where you at. You ain't even trying, something could trigger. But that's when you have to take your thoughts into captivity. You gotta be able to say, I
Yeah.
know that I don't want this. I don't want to think like that anymore. I don't want to feel this way anymore. So it is about asking the Lord, but you're gonna be all right. You just going through the process, honey. It's rehab. When you in rehab, guess what? People have to detox, and they go through shakes, they go through withdrawals, and that's exactly what we go through when we come out of relationships. But you're gonna be just fine.
Amen. Ivory, you got something to add on to that piece?
The only thing, I mean, just to go off the top, to go on the topic, it's good that you're taking this time and healing, but what I suggest to not carry it over to the next thing, of course, is to heal, but it's also to forgive him. Like, that's what helped me. I had to learn to just to forgive whatever it is. So to let go, because it's not for him, it's for you. So you don't carry that over. And whatever that relationship is, going to the next one, it ain't his fault. This guy, this man, he's brand new. It's not him. And even though you're guarded, you cannot, when you're guarded and you're going into that new relationship, it's like you're going into that relationship expecting it to fail. So when you're going into that relationship, you're forgiving the past and you're starting brand new. Now you're not going in there like, you know, um, with your back, just going in there and just I'm free and open up, but you're tiptoeing, but you're just going in there like, not expecting it to fail, but
Yeah.
you're going there with forgiveness and letting, and just forgiving that whatever happened in the past, it happened in the past and starting brand new. But you're not desperate. You're not desperate and you're not lonely. You've healed, you moved on, and you starting brand new.
Yeah. And the lesson I think more than anything is that you have the power to discern better. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you still have to take a chance because anybody can put up a good front. But to
Yeah.
love greatly, I think you have to be vulnerable and transparent. Have that conversation. Again, not from a point of I'm a victim and this is what happened to me in the past, but this is a point of victory. I overcame
Mhm.
that and I'm better and I'm ready for something better. So I like this name right here from Kimberly, my
Oh,
CEO.
that's my girl. Hey, Kim. I'm glad you joined us tonight.
Yeah, go ahead and take the comment. And I see.
Yeah. She was saying being by yourself gives you a chance to drain the toxics out of you. Baby, I learned how to date myself, enjoy myself, and life until my mate comes. I picked up all that old baggage and learned how to live in the space I was in. I'm just out here loving me. Hmm. Girl, let me get you some flowers. I'm just loving on me. And
Yep.
and that's what that's exactly what it is. I'm telling you, them toxins is it's rehab. Um, and when you can sit in it, like I said, it ain't cute because when you see people on the TV shows, and even some people that we may even know personally, when you have to see them go through rehabilitation for some things, um, you have to learn to start it over again, and not even just the fact from that place of like drugs or anything. Let's just go about when you break a leg or you something happens in life and you got to learn to walk again. That's what when you come out of it's the same thing. You got to find the strength and the determination to say that I'm not gonna stay on this walker forever. I'm not gonna be dependent on these old emotions that got me bound. I have to get up and fight to be stronger than I've ever been before, to be better than I've ever been before, and to love like I've never loved before. Just because I didn't know love correctly or love or be loved correctly doesn't mean I can't get to that place. But it still, once again, it still starts back with you as a person. So anybody that's putting in the work, and if you want to put in the work, I commend you. Do it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Honey, I ain't been on a date in over a year, and I ain't talked to a man in over a year. And people used to say, "Girl, I know your inbox jumping." Why would my inbox be jumping? I'm not. You don't put. I don't got desperate over my forehead, but I do
Mhm.
carry myself in a space that I'm just not going to just allow just you to approach me any type of way. And I think once you begin to even be in that space, certain men ain't gonna approach you anyway. Certain women ain't gonna approach you anyway because they
Mhm.
already know that you put in the work and you've all that old stuff is what they say. I'm a new creature in Christ, Gerard. Well, I'm a
Yes, sir.
new
Behold.
yeah, I'm out here new. Old things are passed away. I'm gonna put that as my scripture, baby. Old things are passed away. So I just want y'all to be looking as fresh as me, like new money. It feel like new money every day. I don't care if there's nickel, dimes, or pennies and quarters. Fresh bills, baby. That's how you want to feel about yourself. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I Ivory, I'll let you jump in there real quick.
Mm-mm.
You want to add nothing?
She
Nothing
said,
to add
I
on
got
mm-mm.
it. Mm-mm.
that? Okay. Yeah. There's this thing. I was talking. I think I see you and I had that about self sabotage,
Yeah.
where people unknowingly sabotage their own situation, and it can be out of fear or whatever other emotion that you're having. But by sabotaging, I mean you're doing those things that you out of fear that causes the failure of that relationship. And the example that I heard was this guy was saying that there was nobody out there that's good to date. He's not
Mm.
finding anybody out there worth dating. So when he went out in public, he was, wrinkled and not put together, and he didn't shave on the regular, and his just wasn't just well present himself well. Well, by doing that, nobody wants to talk to him when they see him. If he even went and tried to approach a woman looking the way he did, she's going to reject him or not be interested. So he's already manifesting the very thing that he's saying is the problem, but it's him doing it, and it's not that there's a lack of people out there. So if you're doing that in a relationship, like moving in fear, hey, I expect this guy to cheat on me, or I expect her to not be faithful to me, and you begin to hound them and bug the heck out of them. I'm not saying that they're gonna go out and cheat, but if you're pushing them away and they're not desiring to spend time with you, you're creating that situation that you're fearing. So just be careful about that self manifestation, self sabotage part that can happen in relationships.
Amen.
Yeah. So I think it's time for us to close out. So I see it's been a good discussion, and this the second best part of the show for me. The first is just getting started. The second is hearing your love notes. So the floor is yours right now, and inspire us before we get ready to close the show out.
You know what? I threw my thing in the trash. It was gonna be talking about the healthy glow, right? You want to have this glow about yourself, and not just because you got good skincare, but that your soul and your spirit glows. That's some good stuff right there. That just on the dome. Come on, Holy Spirit. You want to be able to glow from the inside out, simply because you are now just saying, I'm not desperate. I'm not just gonna get with somebody just to say I got somebody, just to be able to spend time with somebody. You deserve to be the best part of you to yourself than you've ever been in your life. I don't care if you 50 or 100, 20, whatever, whoever can get on this, whoever watches this, take out the time to really sit with you and to know that until that person comes, that you are in this space, that it's just all about me, that you are whole by, like my thing over here said, this is me, my life, my laughter, my happiness. Be the happiness that you desire, because what you begin to be is what you will attract. And what you can choose to continue to stay in is what's going to keep sniffing you out. So my thing is, if there's a different fragrance that you want, you might need to get rid of the one that you wore the longest, you thought was really the most attractive fragrance that you had, and you need to find you one that's just a little bit different. Do you hear me? Because one thing about what I know about a breeze, come on with this thing, girl, about a breeze and the wind. See, the wind is a forceful situation, and it will bring trash. And I'm talking about when you look at how the wind just bring you get up in the morning, you got all type of trash in your yard. That was because of the wind came through and it mixed you up with all of this that's going on. But there's something about a breeze. That's like when you put on a fragrance, man or female. When that breeze come by and that scent comes off of you and it's in that breeze, the right person that's for you, it's gonna be attractive. It's gonna hit their nostrils and they're gonna come for you. But they're gonna come right because there's something different that exudes out of you. That you no longer come from a broken place, that you no longer come from a hurt place, an unforgiving place. And as she said earlier, there is a very pivotal point that's going to make all of this come into play. Forgiveness of self and others. Even if that person never hears you say that I forgive you for mishandling me. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to hold you hostage to that no more either. The debt has been paid and you don't owe me nothing but to go on with your life and realize that if relationships end, it is a guarantee that if you see them with the new person, whether that's somebody from their past or somebody present, Sometimes that person is much better for the person that you left and or that you ain't with no more. Because somewhere y'all just didn't mesh. And they better with somebody else. And you're definitely better moving forward too. You have to look at it from that. Take the lesson, absorb it, feel how you need to feel, but don't sit in it. Don't stay there too long, because I'm telling you, it'll be like water that's done set around too much. You'll begin to have a stench. And not that you have like body odor, but you'll have a stench within yourself that there is no happiness that you see on you. You always in turmoil. And then it begins to affect you physically, mentally, and emotionally, and spiritually. So at the end of the day, baby, put in the work with you. Love on you. Let God tend to you. And I promise you, in the end, the way that this is supposed to be, you won't be dealing with no more irregular heartbeats, baby. You'll have a strong pulse in the relationship moving forward, because you done already been through the critical care unit. You done already been on life support. And so now there's a freshness that's been breathed back into for you to have strong lungs, a strong heart, and for you to be able to stand different than you were with your shoulders up, chest out, knowing that as you move forward with the next person in life, that you're able to do it because you're gonna compliment who you're with, because you compliment yourself so well. And that's my love note on tonight, baby. Work on you, love on you, and in the end, everything will flow just like it's supposed to. Honey, it'll be a smooth stream, baby. You won't have no big waters that's taking you out, baby. No big wave. It's just gonna be smooth, baby. Smooth.
Amen to
All
that.
right.
Amen to that. Appreciate that. Round of applause for IC. Appreciate
Love
your words
y'all.
always. And just a big thank you to the audience. We appreciate y'all. And we will display some people are encouraging you. I see. I'll put those up. But just want to tell the audience thank you, and keep the comments coming. If we don't get to them now, we'll make sure we revisit during the
Yes.
replay.
And
And
we really love y'all. We want y'all to be healed, whole, healthy, and all that. We want to see y'all new men and women.
Yes.
I agree. What you got for us? We're going to do our parting thoughts and let you give us some good inspirational words as well.
Yes. Y'all don't rush. Don't rush. Take your time. Take your time. Get to know you. Get to know yourself, what you like. There is no rush. It's not a race. It's not a race. And just like Gerard said, just like Flex said, is don't go from one to another to another to another. Um, love yourself. Love yourself, get to know yourself, get to know, do the things that, because sometimes you get in a relationship and you can't do things that you can do in a relationship that you can do by yourself. So do those things, enjoy yourself, and don't be so desperate just because you see your friends or whoever in a relationship and you want to go out there and get into one because they're in one because you think time is running out. No, love on yourself. Take your time, because everybody's motive is not the same.
Mhm.
It's not like yours. So take your time. Don't rush. Ask people what they think about you, not just in
Yes.
relationships, but at work. Ask your friends, ask your family, hey, what y'all really think about me? And work on
Yeah.
those things and be honest and work on those things before you jump into the next relationship. If you got a good relationship with your ex, ask your ex and say, hey, what were some of my flaws back then? I don't want to get back with you. I don't want to spend the block, but I just want to work on some things with myself so I can go forward to the next person. And yeah, just take your time and just get to know you and have fun with it. And so then when your next person finds you, because attract like-minded people going to attract. So when y'all come to each other, it's gonna be a perfect match. So just take your time. There's no rush. That's all I got.
Come on,
Yes.
Ivy. That's big, man.
Ivy.
Oh,
Girl, look what you get, girl. You better come on. That's my girl.
oh, man. That was
Yes.
good. That's good. Appreciate those words right there. And mine, just a couple quick, short little statements. One, don't worry about running out of time. Just stop wasting time with people and situations that profit you nothing, and you'll see that you have all the time that you need. That's number one. There's this concept in scripture that's talking about redeeming the time. And my experience, and I'm sure y'all can probably relate to this, when you're having fun, when you're living and walking in purpose, all the bad things that happened to you before, it ain't even worth mentioning. And that's what the Bible says, that it's hardly worth mentioning when you understand the goodness that God has for you. So That's one thing. Just stop wasting time with people in situations that profit you nothing. And the second one is you will never reap more than what you've sown.
Mm.
So that goes back to putting in the work. If you want great relationship, you got to put in great work. You can't put that responsibility to make your relationship great on somebody else. Put in the work, and I believe in that concept too in scripture that says, "So as a man sows, he will also reap," and that's good or bad. If you're sowing seeds of discord and hate, it's going to rear its head. It's just the nature of the beast. But if you're sowing seeds of love and forbearance and fidelity and patience, it's going to show as well. So again, just whatever it is that you want to reap, make sure you're sowing and in abundance too, so that you can receive it in abundance. So those are my words.
Way to go.
Yeah. We right at the 51-minute mark. So it's time for IC to do what she do, is close us out.
Well, this is the part that we really regret that we have to do. We don't know what y'all got to do for the rest of the night, but we know y'all need to go to bed, honey. Some of y'all need to go write a letter to yourself, but go do something. But we're gonna have to say good night on tonight. But before we do, if you were not able to join us on tonight live, come back and hit the replay. Watch it. Take some nuggets from it. Moving forward with who was on the live, we need you to like, share, and subscribe on all social media platforms and share it. Just share this because there's somebody that's going to need something out of it. And so all we want to do is that we try to reach as many people as we can. And sometimes that means we need some assist on the play. And so we just a basketball team and we need y'all to come through and just assist on the play. So we love y'all. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for dialoguing with us on tonight, because we always gain something from one another. And we're so grateful to have you all as our Floor is Yours family. So have a good night, and we love y'all.
Good night.
Now it's my turn to tell y'all about my big bro Gerard and the podcast crew. From DJ to realist, Miss Cookie the professor, and you can't forget about the inspiration shit. They talk about it all, got advice for us all. You'll never know how deep the talks will go. On the weekdays, the weekends, they be going live with the topics. Then they do the segment where the floor is yours. You can post your comments, you can post your statements, yeah. You can ask your questions, They can help you get your life moving in the right direction. If you need advice on marriage, advice on finance, advice on healing, advice on credit, this the podcast that you need to check out. Go ahead and tune in, you'll feel what I'm talking about.
Baby, I'ma get the floor is yours. Yeah, baby, I mean the floor is yours. Baby, come down to the floor is yours. Let me show you how the floor is yours. Hey, the floor is yours. The floor is yours. Nah, 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 nah. The floor is yours. The floor is yours. Nah, 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 nah. The floor is yours.
Love y'all. Good night.